Time to redeem myself. I redid the pizza crust that I'm going to attach to this clip. I'm doing it like this because I tried to see if I could do a clip where I put everything together, but it comes out to be like an hour long. I'm like, no way would I sit down for an hour. Although you guys have great things to talk about. But who has the time to look at the video for an hour? Anyway, hope you enjoy it because great flavors, consistency a whole lot better. In an attempt to redeem myself to my daughter, because has been asking for pizza for a while, I went back to the store to purchase this grater and parchment paper because I figured out what I possibly did wrong in the last attempt to make pizza, which everybody loved. So I grated the cauliflower using this side here. See that? How big the holes are? Very deceptive. They're that big, but it actually comes out grainy like that. And then the stem of it is right here because I only grated the floury looking portion. And so I'm going to use this for like soup or something like that. Maybe cream of, what is this? Cauliflower. I don't know. I'll find a recipe for it, I'm sure. And then instead of using mozzarella cheese, I'm going to be using hard Parmesan. Instead of like grainy Parmesan, the hard Parmesan. And I actually had to also grate that. And I used, again, this side to grate it. Now, I have carpal tunnel, so I cannot squeeze the cauliflower. Cannot squeeze it. So even though my carpal tunnel has improved after weight loss surgery, I don't like tempting it. So one of the recipes I found said that if you don't want to go through the process of draining it, pan fry it without adding any oil on here. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. But when I put it down to spread it, instead of using aluminum foil like I did last time, it says to use parchment paper. So she is sleeping. I'm going to see if I can wake her up with just the smell of what I'm cooking. So I'm making sure that the pan is really hot. I didn't add anything to it. No oil, no butter, nothing. I don't know if you can hear it. The sizzle. Can you hear it? That means that the water is being evaporated from the cauliflower, which means I don't have to squeeze the cauliflower. So, in my attempt to redeem myself, I really hope this works. This is 2 cups, in case anybody was wondering. 2 cups of cauliflower. You also don't want to cover the cauliflower, the guy said. I'm going to try everything I can to see if I can link his instructions on my description box. And I get it, why not cover it? Because you see all this smoke, the vapor. It's probably, if you cover it, it's probably going to just go right back into the cauliflower. You really don't want that. So what I'm doing, which I saw him do, even though he didn't explain it, it was to, I'm not constantly standing over it, but I am listening to the sizzling, and I just move it see how all that water, so that water, that's what you want gone. And I didn't even add, not even a sprinkle of water on this cauliflower. This is just natural water, which is probably why I really messed up the last time. But anyway, just putting everything back and even, so that the water of it continue to evaporate. And I think if you get the cauliflower that is sold right next to the broccoli and the lettuce, which is really fresh, I think you get less natural water. Because I got my cauliflower from the freezer at what is it, Sand Clubs, when I went there, and they don't have cauliflower out; they have it in bags. I was just turning it around just now. Look, no water at all. See, no vapors. It's starting to stick into the pan, so I turned it off. And this is the beautiful thing about electric stove is that even though you turn it off, you can still hear the sizzling, which I like it. So he said that as soon as you're done with this, then the best thing to do is to let it cool off. So I'm gonna let it cool off. So while the cauliflower is cooling off, I thought I put the parchment paper on the pan. I find these not necessarily instructions, but point tips, I guess, as to why it's good to use parchment paper. I've never used parchment paper in my life, so I wasn't sure, what to expect. I didn't even know what to look for. Um, but I like what I'm reading. It says the food just slides right off, doesn't even stick. No wonder the guy was saying, don't put anything on the parchment paper. He said, um, you don't need to put butter, you don't need to put no oil, no spray, nothing. It's just put the cauliflower on top of it when it's prepped already. This is good. I think I'm gonna start buying this for other things. So while the cauliflower is cooling off, all right. So last time I used 2 eggs. This time I'm gonna use 1, and I do not like Parmesan cheese, but they said that it's better to use that cheese than the mozzarella that I actually like to use. I don't like the smell of Parmesan. Uh, so he suggested to use the hard kind. I never even knew Parmesan came in anything other than powder or grated, I should really say. So he said to put a cup. So there's a cup. And it actually does not smell the way that the powder one smells. Um, this the way this smells is actually really pleasant. So as the cauliflower is cooling off, I'm just gonna mix this. All right, so I did add the exactly 2 cups. I remeasured to make sure that there's exactly 2 cups of cauliflower. So now I'm gonna mix this. It's nicely mixed, and now I'm gonna put it on the parchment paper. So I had enough to actually make 2. So this is, and I have, my husband and my daughter to redeem myself for. So I figured I'll do 2. Okay, so each of these have the exact same ingredients, the exact same amount, which is 2 cups of cauliflower, 1 cup of Parmesan hard cheese that I had to grate myself. And I added my own spices. He says to not add any spices because you're going to put tomato sauce on top of it that already has its own spices. And then you're going to have whatever topping you decide, whether it's vegetables or meat. So I like my Hispanic spices, so I added to it. Cauliflower is one of those vegetables that you can add or not add because it still tastes good anyway. Um, and I know my sister's watching, so I just wanted to let her know, Rosita, yes, I will make this when I get to your house, okay? But you live 5 hours away, so give me a chance to take a vacation to actually go over there just to make this. She only eats cauliflower when I make it, So I thought, hey, all right, fine. So anyway, I hope I redeem myself because this actually looks 10 times better than the crust that I did on the last video. I'm still preheating the oven at 400, and just like the other cauliflower, it does have to stay 20 minutes in there, and I'll be checking it to make sure. The only difference between the other cauliflower that I made and this one is that I left it, as you can see, thicker, whereas the other one I actually spreaded it out and it was very thin around the edges. This one has an odd shape to it. I don't know why it had that odd shape to it. So, and he said that if you thin it out here, this edge cooks and burns faster than the rest of it. So I was like, oh, that does make sense. Now, when I dried it on the pan, a lot of the water was completely gone. It actually looked like it was completely dry. And as I mixed it and then spread it here, you can see that there's still some. And it's not just from the egg that was in it. And each of it has only one egg. Okay, let's see if this oven finishes preheating. I told you guys, my oven takes a long time to preheat. Okay, so it finished preheating and now I'm putting everything in the oven. Oh God, wish me luck. It is at 400 and it does say 20 minutes. So I am going to put it for the full 20 minutes now that I have some experience. Let's see. Okay. My kitchen NSV is this apron. See this? It's actually tied, it's wrapped in the back and then came to the front, and here it is. This time last year I was not able to do this. I was only able to close it from the back, but I've always wanted to have it in the front because I think it's, I don't know, I like it, and always said to myself, I wonder if I'll ever be able to tie it in the front. And here it is. Look at that. It's tied in the front. Not only is it tied in the front, look at all that it's left over. It's like a lot, you know. This is my my kitchen NSV. It's different. Mine did not do it with 20, so I had to add an additional 10 minutes, and now it looks really good. Looks really good. Okay. So I guess I have to say that it varies with each oven as to, let me turn this off. Let's see. Turn it off. I'm going to leave that because I am going to put a topping on it. And again, it's whatever topping you want. But every oven varies. This is what this is teaching me. Every oven definitely varies because 20 minutes was not enough. And I had to put an additional 10 minutes, and now it looks nice. Okay, so the edge is nice. See that? But not burnt. Crispy. It looks like not burned. It smells good, I'll tell you this. Normally, I would not like the Parmesan smell, but this particular Parmesan actually has made my kitchen smell really good. All right, so it does call for me to let it cool. So I'm going to let it cool, but it's not a good idea to let it cool on top of a hot stove. It's hot because the oven is still on. I don't want to turn off the oven to preheat because it takes too long. I'm going to let it cool off on the table. Just let it cool off on the table. And it says I should put it on a cookie sheet. I don't have a cookie sheet, so I'm hoping that by not putting it on the cookie sheet that it won't cause damage to it. But it looks like it's sticking. Definitely looks sticky. I'm gonna give it a test after it cools down some. I like the fact that, see this? It allows itself to be picked up. So this parchment paper really is good because I didn't put anything under there. It's allowing itself to be picked up. It still needs to cool some more. So the idea is I put the topping, cut it in 4, and then I'll be able to pick up my own piece. So we'll see. All right, so it's cooled off some. And voila! This is what I was looking for, to be able to do that. And I couldn't do that last time. All right, so I'm going to put the sauce on top of it and whatever toppings. Here it is with the topping. My husband said that if I ever made pizza again, he wants chicken. So this here has the sauce, the mozzarella, and some chicken that he was supposed to eat last night, but he was like, oh, I don't feel like chicken. So I just, shred it a little bit and put it on there. And then my daughter, she just loves the mozzarella and the pepperoni. And she's like, if you ever make this again, I still want extra. So here it is. Now let's put it in the oven. And again, depending on your oven, mine seems to be slow. It would be an additional 10 minutes, or in my case, I probably have to do a little bit more. So the topping is melted, the cheese and the meat together. And now the edges really look that brownish coloring to it. All right, so now I just wait to see what my two taste testers tell me.